greatest triumph was at hand. The final campaign in my long war against Superman. While his powers were drained from constant battle, sending him into space to recharge from the Earth's yellow sun, I struck. But my obsession had blinded me to the real threat. To Earth's true enemy.
Okay, so this is Captain Sam G, and as requested by Turka Demaray, I am playing DC Universe Online. Feel free to leave me other suggestions for superhero type games, and if I like the look of them, I'll get around to them at some point. So, I'm sure that, like me, you've probably seen this opening cinematic maybe a good 5 times at least.
Lantern! Pick on someone your own size! Cyborg, concentrate fire on Luthor while I call down some artillery.
When this game came out, and even now, this whole sequence looks like the cutting edge of technology.
Deathstroke, time for you to join the party.
Like, this is going to be the most graphically intense, most amazing game ever. Just like all RPGs tend to do. I mean, look at this.
Come on! We've got lots of murdering to do.
Look at these awesome fights between superheroes and supervillains. Can you even imagine how awesome it would be if the game played the same? Now, that's not me trying to preclude this by saying, get prepared for disappointment because this game sucks, or anything like that.
Lose something? Greetings, sister.
It's just a problem I have with all these online role-playing games. Like, every advert for World of Warcraft I've seen just shows the opening cinematic for whatever new expansion pack has been brought out, while the gameplay is nothing alike. Now, obviously, it's not that I think they're trying to lie about the game to get idiots to buy it, because when you visit the site, you'll see what the actual game is like immediately. It's more the disappointment of seeing something so incredible, like something that could be the perfect Justice League game, seeing what could be. Like, can you imagine if instead of the Arkham games, the first 5 minutes of them was just a cutscene, and then you jumped into the game and the rest of it played like an online RPG? You'd only get to glimpse at the perfect Batman game, not actually play it.
What's this? Nobody kills the bat but me!
So yeah, I suppose this whole thing gives me a bittersweet feeling, because while the game is good, and I've played through it up to level 30 once before,
Call him! Bring him to me!
the opening cutscene is taunting me with a game I'll never get.
Batman! Adam!
Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky for me, mostly due to the online part. These kinds of games are absolutely enormous, with 100 different types of 1,000,000 side missions.
You don't deserve to live!
But more importantly,
Diana.
restrictions on what missions you can play through due to grinding for all the different sorts of currency there are in this game, and the unique ways you have to earn each type.
Beaten by a mere man. No. You've lost everything. No. I beat you. Luthor!
In order to buy different sets of costly armor that will actually make you strong enough to play through those missions without dying instantly.
Brainiac had returned. For years, he'd been stealing the powers of Earth's protectors, but we were too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see the danger. With you three dead, Brainiac quickly eliminated the remaining heroes. The lucky ones died fighting. Finally, I alone survived. A rat in the walls of the Brainiac construct. I have traveled through time to warn you. This is my past, but your future. And it means the end of humanity, so together, we must change it.
What have you done, Luthor?
Given you a fighting chance.
He's lying. It's some kind of trap. Why should we trust you?
Because if you don't, Earth is doomed. I've stolen Brainiac's exobytes and released them into Earth's atmosphere. They hold the powers stolen from the heroes and villains of my time, and will bestow them on anyone they contact. The exobytes will create a new breed of superhuman to fight Brainiac's invasion. You must teach them to use their new abilities, for they must be on the front line in the coming battle, or my grim future will become your own. I only hope I am not too late, for I will not be here to see this new future. My work is not yet done. I must leave this Earth to you. Claim the exobytes and take destiny into your own hands.
Targets identified. Select gender and body type.
So, millions of missions and tons of super costly armor in order to not die instantly. And unfortunately, there's also not some easy way to just play through the main story missions, as later ones need special sets of armor to not die in a second, and even more troublesome that it's impossible to differentiate what constitutes a main mission and what's actually just a side mission, and where to actually find the main missions in the first place. So as I play through this, I'll be looking to guides and wikis so this whole thing won't be one big mess where I don't actually make any progress, because again, a million missions and I'll just end up grinding forever. But for now, let's focus on character creation. So, height. I'm using the medium default character build, firstly because I don't want my character to be super skinny or super bulky, which are the other two types of builds. But for the actual height, I have a bit of a problem with it. You see, I wish the characters in this game were made to actually be their listed heights, but they're not. Choosing the medium height for the default build, I can stand with the trinity of heroes, Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, and look, sort of, as I should next to them. Like an inch shorter than Batman, inch taller than Wonder Woman. But if I stand next to, let's say, Cyborg, I make him look absolutely tiny. And just about every single cop and civilian looks absolutely tiny next to me as well. Heights of characters fluctuate a hell of a lot in this game. Now I'm going to have Superman as my mentor, and I'll have flight for my way of movement, ice powers for my main power, and I'll use martial arts for my combat. Martial arts uses these two hand blade things, but as soon as I enter the game, I can go to the style tab for my gear and basically make them invisible. So it'll look like I'm fighting hand to hand. Martial arts also has the benefit of throwing out dart things for long range, but will be pretending that I'm actually throwing out icicles. And to go with my ice motif, I'm going to be using lots of light blues and whites, and as I unlock more gear, I'll be trying to wear items that look icy and icicle-y. I'm going to try not wearing anything too bulky though. I notice a lot of players in this game, even though they're pretending to be a hero or villain in the DC universe, tend to instead just looked like a typical World of Warcraft character, just decked out in the bulkiest, edgiest sets of medieval fantasy armour they can possibly find. And in my opinion, it just looks weird when stood next to someone like The Flash or whoever. So while I'll be going for the slightly spikier look, I'm going to try my best to still have it all look like an actual costume. Now, as I said, I'm going to try to follow the main story, but there's so damn much in this game obscuring how to actually follow the main story and so much holding you back that I probably won't ever manage it without paying tons of money to just flat out buy all the special gear that I need to eventually, after tons of other types of progress, beat Brainiac. So whilst I am showing the opening cutscenes for this game, I'm kind of going to be ignoring them and making up a bit of my own story. I'll be focusing on the main mentor missions that have you impressing your mentor, in my case Superman, and working to become a recognisable, true hero. And I don't like that there's just 100,000 other humans that have just been granted powers in this big event. I kind of wish there was an option where you could just turn off all other human playing characters, turn them invisible or something. And instead, I have my own idea for how I have my powers. Pretty simple really, and it'll explain my slightly eccentric costume. I'm one of the superpowered beings that escaped from Apocalypse, like Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, only I'm just managing to do it now. And on my journey to escape and flee to another planet, Earth, I just so happen to arrive when Brainiac is up to his usual shenanigans of bottling up cities, and I end up getting captured. And while I may not be showing the entirety of this game and all of the main missions and things like that, I will be going back and forth from this game, revisiting it, maybe creating a different character and showing different parts of specific missions, things like that. I don't know, because again, there's a hell of a lot to this game, millions of missions to distract yourself and end up getting lost and doing something completely different from what you should be doing. And yeah, I think what I'm going to be doing is focusing on the main mentor missions for this playthrough, and still end up doing a hell of a lot and probably distracting myself, but I'll try not to, and revisiting the game for other parts. And yeah, it'll just be one whole big mess that I keep revisiting for different areas. So whilst I'm showing these opening cutscenes, the real game, and what I'm considering to be my real actual story, only begins in part 2. So, join me for that, and until then, bye for now.
Earth. The center of the multiverse. It will belong to Brainiac. I do not plan an invasion, rather an assimilation. I have identified key junctions in Earth's vast nexus of knowledge. These I will capture and digitize first. Of course, some non-essential information may be captured as well. This will be sorted and purged once the digitizing is complete. Earth's resistance does not concern me. There is no intellect strong enough, or power brutal enough to resist me. Soon this planet and all it contains will be mine. Intriguing. There is an anomaly in Earth's atmosphere. Beginning analysis. These exobytes are my own technology, each one holding unknown stores of digitized power from Earth's future. My harvester ships will simply reclaim the data provided by these exobytes and seal Earth's fate. This is a new obstacle. These humans resist my assimilation. I can